Hey, I was over at my local thrift store and I picked up some highly expensive video recording. $2.75 for this one. $2.50 for this one. I think it was $2 for this one. Can't believe this. That is probably all stainless steel there with one little thing of coating there. And I paid $1 for that. That alone was worth the trip. And then there's this one. Now, you might be going, why has he got vinegar there? Unfortunately, this one, the batteries were left in. And it's already leaking out the side of the battery compartment. And when I bought it, I knew there were issues because it's hard to see, but there's white powder here, white powder there. Not the type that's going to get you in trouble with the government, though. Oops. It's basically caustic potassium hydroxide mixing with the metals to create white powder, meaning corrosion. So in this video, I'm going to be dealing with this one here. Now let me get the other ones out of the way. So let's take a quick look at this one. It's a Technicolor Instant Load Mark 10 Super 8. It kind of looks like a Star Trek-y type thing, except it isn't. This was built in the 60s. Look at all the chrome on it. Incredible amount of chrome. I should weigh this. If I weigh it, I'll put the weight in the corner there because it is heavy. And it is solidly built, except even solidly built ones, if you leave the batteries in, and yes, I do know this is caustic. I should have some gloves on, and I will put them on when I clean this. Duraleaks and a Kirkland alkaline battery, and two that I'm not exactly gonna, I'll probably know once I take them out, but you can see the amount of leakage in here. Good time to just pause this video, go take anything you've got in storage and take the batteries out of them if you want to keep them, the equipment that is. And you can see it's going down in there. As I said, I realized this was leaking when I bought it. I was not going to open it up in the thrift store while I dump this stuff onto their counter. So, I'm going to first off get my disposal thing, get my vinegar, and go get some gloves. But before we pull that out, so there's a viewfinder going through there. As I opened this before, that's where the cartridge went in, or the tape. Then they had the focus in here. They've got one mounting 1/4 inch here, I believe it is. And there's also another one up here. So I believe you would mount any lights you wanted up here. And then you can put it on a stand down here. And then there's the on-off switch. So first things, get the vinegar ready. That's usually a bad sign when somebody has their vinegar out for this. Now let me just, and these will all go into plastic bags for the battery recycle. You don't want to dump batteries into your garbage. Now these ones probably don't have any life left in them, but if they did have life left in them, they could start a fire. I emptied the obvious stuff into there. I'll probably just do a bit of the cleaning on camera. You can see how it's fizzing up, because I'm using basically vinegar which is an acid, acetic acid, against a base, which is the potassium hydroxide. Now, where would you use potassium hydroxide other inside batteries so it can leak out all over stuff? You can use it for, once properly neutralized in the process, making soap. And more specifically, soft soap. So if you're going to make a liquid soap, you can use potassium hydroxide. If you're making a hard soap, I believe it's sodium hydroxide. I actually have a whole bunch of soap making material. Just never got around to it. Okay, let's see how this one's going to look. I just want to get it cleaned up enough that I don't have to be wearing these when I disassemble it. I have no delusions that this is going to be salvageable, especially since I could see the white corrosion on the other side of the film chamber. But hopefully I'll have enough of it neutralized. One thing is potassium hydroxide is really bad in the sense that if you get it into your eyes, it will do a lot of damage. Apparently it will do more damage than just a regular base or a regular acid, though I wouldn't recommend either of them, and I definitely wouldn't recommend taking my advice on that either. But it's coming along and, oh, that stunk. Definitely could smell that one. And since they haven't invented a smell sensor for YouTube and for videos, you're lucky. Oh, that's not too bad. That actually cleaned up quite nicely. There's a bit more down in there. Yeah, as it fizzes away. I have no delusions that this is thoroughly clean. But as a bit of outgassing there. Let's get this part in here. Amazingly though, these don't look, the contacts actually don't look in that bad of shape. That's not to say any circuit boards inside here haven't been totally rotted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording for a little bit and just finish cleaning it. Well, I've got it cleaned up. I've washed my hands several times. I'm going to do a close-up now of this. And this was well built. That metal doesn't even really show any signs that it had all that potassium hydroxide against it. Nowadays, if you had something like that, leak in there, you'd find these would be totally corroded. Now, I'm not saying everything behind this isn't corroded, but it would be a total mess. The outside, or outside part, does show some signs, but that's not bad. This thing is made out of probably really good stainless steel. So now the next part is to figure out how to get into it. So I've done some preliminary looking at this for screws. There's 2 here, there's 1 there, and so far it's looking like that one's not going to come out. It's been painted in. Then they're inside here. There's these 2 which might release this side. So I'm going to go after these 2 first. Other than that, there's not a lot of visible screws on this thing. Of course, there might be something underneath these label. Well, not this label, since that goes to the battery area. but there might be something under the other label. And none of my screwdrivers are fantastic fits for this, or at least the bigger ones. Okay, that one's coming out. I can't see that going as far down as the far side. Yeah, maybe it does. Okay, there's one. And you're, of course, not seeing anything other than my hands turning a screwdriver. There's that. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. So let me zoom down on this. Well, those two screws revealed a lot. I'm going to go after these two now. And obviously zoom out. And I don't actually have a fancy zoom on this because the camera actually, if I use it on half magnification, I can't actually zoom it from there. I have to actually stop it each time. And if I put it on the 1, which is just the normal, then it looks like I have to go after that screw somehow. I'm going to take this off camera because that thing's going to be a pain. I've tried heat, I've tried liquids, I've tried everything I can think of other than this. So I'm going to do that off camera so that if anybody is a collector of these, turn your head away for the rest of the video. So as I said, turn your head away. You don't want to see this. Let's just pour that out over there. You better detach after all that. Oh, okay, I got to take out these two screws. So, if you have to take out a screw, you can always use that. Did I hear somebody scream at me? So now I just take these two off, and that should just slide off easily. There's one little one. Oops, come back here. Obviously this is for adjusting the focus. And it's decided to come off willingly after seeing what happened to that other previous screw. So, there we go. I'm going to zoom down now so we can take a real close look at it. Oops. So, we're now inside. And this thing was actually fairly dirty in here to start with. So here's the focus. Come on. You rotated earlier. There we go. Move you over a bit. Then that's looking down here at this mirror here, as you can see there, which then reflects down to, let's see if you can see it there, that right there, which must have another set of mirrors in here to get part of looking that way. And then the rest of it would then go into this part in here, which adjusts it for the film. Now let's just see. Slowly rotate things. Okay, that doesn't do that much more other than focusing in here. Oh, okay, all of this in here would be the batteries that are driving this motor down here. And then all these gears, which would then be coming over here, turning this one. And then that would be rotating the film through the system. Cute. Wonder what happened if I stuck some batteries in this thing. So I've inserted 4 new batteries. Now I don't have a cartridge, so I'm not sure if any of this will turn on. Okay, where's the on? Yeah, it's over here. That way's on. No life. Oh, there we go. Push this button here. And it would think it's actually doing some filming. Oh, that's not too bad. Here is your light exposure. Or no, that might be time, sorry. That's time. So, other than now missing a screw, and keep all nasty comments at least PG rated on that one, otherwise they will get deleted. This thing is probably fully working and just needs a good cleaning. Okay. Now this looks like it's actually got a mirror on it that rotates real fast. If you know more about these cameras than I do, which is probably everybody watching this, put in the comments. But I'm not going to tear this any further apart because it's more mechanical than electronics, which is probably fitting for the age of it. So that's about it. As I say, I'm not going to destroy this thing. And if I ever pick up some 8mm, might try to give it a go at this and see if it works. But either way, this thing would need a serious cleaning inside because, well, granted, that mirror may only just be for viewing. Well, it is only for viewing here. The rest of it might be clean in there. Oh well, I'm rambling. Time to stop. So other than some unexplained damage right here, the rest of it looks pretty good. The white fluffy stuff that was inside of here does not appear to have been an issue. Maybe that's just dirt. So, oops. That's it for this video. Put in the comments what you think I should do to this thing, other than any nasty comments about what I should do with this thing. Have a good one. Bye. You might be saying, that was a gentle teardown? Well, it didn't need the gentle touch, or the mallet of adjustment. So I considered that a gentle teardown.